Okay, so for the opening 2 minutes of our film, it starts out and there's like a very upper class, posh lady coming out of her house, and you don't really see her face, you only see her from a distance, but actually where the camera is behind like a bush, like looking through, so you can see her. And our idea is that the camera is the eyes of the killer, and basically she's like walking along the street. We have close-ups of her shoes and her handbag and her hair, but never actually her face. And like you never know her name or anything. It's dark, it's nighttime, you hear the sound of the footsteps of the killer, but you never see his face. We have like tension building music as she's walking along, and she starts to hear things and she turns around and then there's silence, so that the viewer is like really like engaged in it. And then at the end of our opening, she turns around and like she's really shocked and she gasps, and so it ends on a cliffhanger. And what shots were we using?
We want to use long shots, so like you don't actually see her face, so you can't tell what her identity is, but it's just her walking down. And the POV shot, yeah, point of view.
So that's for the killer. So you never see who the killer is because the camera is the killer's eyes. So for example, when she comes out of her house, you sort of see the camera goes into sort of documentary style, and you see it poking out of the bushes, and you can see the woman from afar going around the road and like looking around. And then we were going to use close-ups as well. So
we were also we had some ideas, but we hadn't like finalised. But we did like the ideas of showing from different points of view. So you could have someone who was like sitting in their car at the time who saw it going on, who saw her being followed. So then we're kind of making the narrative more interesting by looking at different perspectives of the same story. But that's our kind of opening idea.
Oh, and the woman is supposed to represent sort of the everyday sort of middle class person, would you say? So
I'd say she's more
upper class. So you know, like it, so the audience can get a feel that it could happen to anyone, because we're trying to make it quite normal and quite something that everyone can relate to. If you're just walking home in the dark from a night out and something happens, it could happen to you.
Okay, explain to me your narrative without mentioning any camera shots and stuff. What is your storyline?
So a lady comes out of the house, and then from the point of view of the killer, following her down the street, and then she turns around and she sees him, but the audience.
But this lady is an extra, so she dies, doesn't she? No? Or she's a lead character?
You don't know. It ends on a cliffhanger because it's only the opening of the film.
And
so the rest of the film.
So what happens in the
that
rest?
story.
We didn't really.
We thought we'd just have to learn.
We kind of, which she doesn't die. She sees the person that's either, we call him the killer, but he might not kill her. He's like a follower, like a kind of stalker kind of thing. He's obviously interested in her for some reason, which the audience doesn't know.
So why is he following her? So you're the writers, so why do you want that person to be followed?
Because we think it's quite an eerie thing, and like
because
could also be after.
she's upper class, so.
Does it matter if it's upper class or working class, someone being followed?
No, but so she has a lot of money, and obviously whoever the kind of killer is or something doesn't think that's good. that she's rich, like she's got a designer handbag.
We would plan it as in he has some sort of maybe a mental issue where he's had some long life problem, and he's had a problem with maybe people who have money. Or
I think it would be money related.
Yeah, he has a sort of
money
hatred.
related.
There's a hatred towards a type of person.
You said the story's going to be told through different perspectives.
That was our idea. Yeah.
But so far, I've got someone being followed and an old lady. So how many perspectives are there of the story?
We were going to do someone like sitting in their car on the street at the time who notices what's going that she's being followed but doesn't do anything.
Is the lead actor watching what's happening in the car, or just an extra random person?
It's like an extra.
Yeah.
I think the main character is the killer, but you never see him.
Yeah.
Because
not
it's all
women.
it's all like filmed like a documentary because it's all from his
his point of view.
well apart from
Yeah.
that part it's all from his point of view.
Is there any questions from anyone, please?
What was it that made you come up with the idea of having, okay, what I'm trying to ask is, what is the killer's like motive? Like what's the sort of, what's his motivation, which will draw the audience in to make them watch the rest of the film about the killer?
Well, we thought about maybe having some sort of shots as in like in the past, so you see him as like a child or like and what's
Like
happened.
describing how
Yeah,
you got
like
that
how
hate,
you got that
flashbacks
hatred
and
for
stuff. That's sort of
flashbacks. That's the word. Because I think people would like. I'm quite interested in sort of like if someone has a mental disorder like in a film, like maybe The Black Swan, where it's sort of a psychological thriller. I think that's quite interesting because it's happening inside someone's head, like a person's head, and so I think that aspect of it could be quite interesting and engage the audience.
That's probably the most interesting bit of the story I've known so far. The rest of it I don't like. Really.
Are you going? What are you going to do? Are you going to kill her? Are you going to draw her into some kind of like building? I don't know. Like, what are you going to be? What's she going to be like? Is she going to be like a heroine? Or
For the rest of the story.
yeah, like at the end, what are you planning to do?
Is it just she just turns around and sees it?
Or
That's the end of of our opening idea. Because we just kind of wrote out our like 2.5 minute opening.
Did you have a look at the narrative structures and the narrative lessons and how to create stories that we did in a couple of lessons at the start? Looking about development, composition, all of that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
But just the beginning.
But just for the
But we just
But we only did the beginning. So.
The treatment said beginning, middle and end synopsis. Okay, so next time you need to listen to what the delivery is, because I didn't know the middle or the ending. So thank you.